Welcome everyone to another audio recording in the IsetTheMic series, and this is a follow-up from the other audio recording about Clair Empowered, where we discussed the different types of clairs, which are your gifts, your medicine as sentient beings. This one is going to be about highly sensitive people, or HSP, empaths, and clairsentients. Those of you that remember, I have shared about Dr. Judith Orloff and her reading, her information and resources, and this is going to be an excerpt from one of her books called The Empath's Survival Guide, wherein one can learn differences, similarities, and areas of overlap on the empathic spectrum. Empaths share all the traits of what Dr. Elaine Aron has called highly sensitive people, or HSP. These include a low threshold for stimulation, the need for alone time, sensitivity to light, sound, and smell, and an aversion to large groups. It also takes highly sensitive people longer to wind down after a busy day, since their ability to transition from high stimulation to being quiet is slower. Highly sensitive people, HSPs, are typically introverts, while empaths can be introverts or extroverts or even ambiverted, although most are introverts. Empaths share a highly sensitive person's love of nature and quiet environments, their desire to help others, and their rich inner life. However, empaths take the experience of the highly sensitive person much further. They can sense subtle energy called Shakti or Prana in Eastern healing traditions and actually absorb it from other people and different environments into their own bodies. Highly sensitive people don't typically do that. This capacity allows them to experience the energy around them, including emotions and physical sensations, in extremely deep ways. And so, they energetically internalize the feelings and pain of others and often have trouble distinguishing someone else's discomfort from their own. Also, some empaths have profound intuitive experiences with animals, nature, or their inner guides, which aren't usually associated with highly sensitive people. Being a highly sensitive person, an HSP, and an empath are not mutually exclusive. One can be both, and many highly sensitive people are also empaths. If you think about this distinction in terms of an empathic spectrum, empaths are on the far end. Highly sensitive people are a little further in. People with strong empathy who are not HSPs or empaths are in the middle, while narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths who have empath deficient disorders are at the far opposite end. An empath will be more sensitive to the emotions of others in the room. The HSP will be more quickly overstimulated, leading to slower sensory processing, overwhelm, and greater difficulty in connecting with others in the moment. Now, the following is an article I'm going to read from Thrive Global. Many people have heard of empaths, but clairsentients are less well known. The two groups are very similar despite overlapping abilities, though there are few differences. Empaths are so in tune with the feelings of others they automatically pick up on external emotions. A clairsentient person also has that gift, but with an additional feature. They have access to detailed knowledge that nobody told them and do not absorb what they feel. Instead, they transmute, neutralize, and alchemize the experience into information for clarity, growth, understanding, healing, for communal empowerment. An empath's experience is different from regular empathy. When most people talk about empathy, they mean they can understand what someone else is feeling. They sympathize. When an empath says, "I understand how you feel," they mean it literally. The empath experiences other people's emotions as vividly and intensely as their own. Each person's emotional state leaks into the environment. Empaths who are sensitive to emotional energies are like emotional lighting rods. Others' emotions find the empath and burrow into the empath's mind and soul, creating a shared experience. That's why empaths might struggle with, for instance, watching the news. When an empath sees someone else suffering, the empath suffers too. Because of their ability to experience others' emotions, empaths are highly compassionate. ClairSentients are also empaths. However, ClairSentients also pick up on the context surrounding those emotions. And not all ClairSentients are empaths. ClairSentient people have enhanced perception that allows them to make sense of emotional energies. A clairsentient person can be, but not always, are even more sensitive than most empaths. Whereas an empath might feel someone's emotions at the moment, a clairsentient can pick up on emotions that others felt in the past. As one might guess, based on the name, clairsentience includes a form of clairvoyance. A clairsentient person gets impressions, both mental and physical, to explain emotions. They might get visual flashes of the events that cause people's feelings. Entire stories with full explanations sometimes pop into their minds. Empaths versus clairsentience. Empaths might not know the cause of other people's emotions. For instance, an empath might feel their friend's sorrow, but unless the friend explains the emotion's source, the empath won't necessarily guess correctly. In contrast, a clairsentient person would not need an explanation. Knowledge is the most significant difference between empaths and clairsentients. Clairsentients have greater access to why other people feel what they feel. The following is another article I will read from Crystal Clear Intuition. Empaths and clairsentients have a lot in common, mostly that they are feelers of this world. They are sensitive to their environments, especially the emotional fluctuations of the environments they are in. This causes them to experience the world through their own lenses, but also the lens of other people. The difference between an empath and clairsentient is a level of awareness and control they have over feeling other people's emotions. An empath takes on other people's thoughts, emotions, and energy as they believe that they are their own, but they have no control or awareness over this exchange. A clairsentient is someone who can sense other people's feelings and emotions, but has more awareness and control of this energetic exchange, and therefore uses this information as psychic knowledge. People who are clairsentient usually began as empaths and have learned to refine their energetic space. Let's rewind that and say that again. People who are clairsentient usually began as empaths and have learned to refine their energetic space, to sense this energetic exchange in order to gain more insight into the deeper energetic literacy and meaning. However, not all clairsentients are empaths. Anyone has the ability to develop this psychic gift if they can learn to turn on and off certain energy centers. Clairsentience is the psychic ability to turn feelings into a sense of perception. The word breaks down, meaning clear sense of feelings. This could mean sensing other people's emotions or other people's pain or other people's perspectives on a situation. This is different than just feeling other people's emotions or pain. It is a refined psychic ability to have a clear sense of what they are feeling without confusing that emotion or pain with one's own. An experienced clairsentient will not actually feel the emotions or pain. They will be able to experience it energetically without allowing it to affect their physical experience. Let's rewind that again. An experienced clairsentient will not actually feel the emotions or pain. They will be able to experience it energetically without allowing it to affect their physical experience. Sentients that are trained in this way can shut down their energetic centers that normally take on these emotions, which empaths do not have the ability to do. Let's rewind that again. Sentients that are trained in this way can shut down their energetic centers that normally take on these emotions, with which empaths do not have the ability to do. Instead, they read the energy of the exchange wanting to take place and can gain psychic information from this. Experienced clairsentients are powerful because so much of our lives are formulated by these energetic exchanges. They can get loads of information from anyone wanting to make an energetic exchange with them, which is the nature of how we interact with each other. However, their true power comes from being able to discern boundaries and to be more authentically themselves by understanding where their energy ends and another energy begins. We're going to rewind that again. However, their true power comes from being able to discern boundaries and to be more authentically themselves by understanding where their energy ends and other energies begin. Anyone can develop psychic gifts with a proper training, and usually people are more gifted in a certain area, be it clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, etc. Empaths usually tend to develop into clairsentience because managing feelings is what they need the most training in. Empaths usually tend to develop into clairsentience because managing feelings is what they need the most training in and what they are naturally gifted at. I had to rewind that again. What empaths need to overcome? Empaths usually have an issue balancing their first root, second sacral, and third solar plexus chakras, mostly the second chakra leaving their upper chakras overstimulated. This results in wanting to escape physical reality and spending too much time lost in dreams. They usually have a heightened intuitive perception because their upper chakras have the work of overtime. They usually know someone is about to call them before that person calls. They also make intuitively sound decisions, such as taking a new route to work without knowing their normal route had traffic that would make them late. This also usually results in an abandonment of the physical body, causing the empath to be fatigued, sick, depressed, anxious, fearful, or have insomnia due to bad dreams. If an empath decides to learn to manage their ability and turn it into clairsentience, empaths are usually the most powerful at doing this because they have a strong relationship with their intuition already. They usually have a natural claircognizance, which is clair-knowing, and when they turn their empathic tendencies into a clairsentient ability, they become powerhouses. As an empath, how can you learn to be clairsentient? The first step is to learn how to turn your empathic abilities into clairsentience by developing a strong meditation practice. This is especially important for empaths because they need quiet and centered space to sift through their own energy and other people's energy. I'm going to rewind that again. This is especially important for empaths because they need quiet and centered space to sift through their own energy and other people's energy. The best way to meditate while increasing your psychic abilities is to visualize meditation. This means to move your energy through your imagination and the third eye vision, or known as the first eye vision. I will pause here to say the article suggests that to those applicable, seeking virtual or in-person classes on various meditation styles will be helpful. From my own experience as an ancestral cosmic alchemist, using my familial, communal, social, and indigenous therapeutic curriculum has helped me evolve my medicine and embrace my clairsentience. Now let's continue with the article. If you want to manage your empathy without becoming clairsentient, a way to do this is to just simply exercise your empathy muscles into compassion. It has been said that empathy is just compassion muscles, not exercised. People who are empathic are usually extremely compassionate to their core, but have confused that compassion with a feeling of responsibility for other people's well-being. Let's rewind that again. Some empaths have confused that compassion with a feeling of responsibility for other people's well-being. Oftentimes, taking on other people's emotions does not help them. It hurts them. They are not able to learn lessons themselves if they are always trying to heal them. The most compassionate thing you can do is send them love and learn to allow them to sort out their own energetic issues. The article also mentions the use of crystals to offer protection from outside energy, such as black tourmaline, hematite, pyrite, purple kyanite, and shungite. as well as black obsidian. Now, speaking for myself, in my past experience, I have used crystal energy a lot. I appreciated their beautiful gifts and collected many of them. I have since given the majority of them away, and I have found greater protection in my ancestral cosmic communication via my bloodline, and I am shielded by this protection infinitely. To be clear, in life, we will experience things that can be uncomfortable and troubling. This does not mean that we are not protected. All that it means is we are being sharpened in order to use our medicine effectively. I adhere to the guiding principles of what protects me, and I'm thankful to know that no matter what life may look like for me, that I have everything I need and never have to worry. I set my itineral experience. I set my mood. I set what I receive. I set what I release, always with people, places, and things. I consent or do not consent, and this is where my power resides. In summary, the article concludes to say, there are ways to manage your empathy that do not require you to become clairsentient. However, clairsentience is the best way to know what energy you are taking on and how to set boundaries so that energy isn't able to get into your space. The difference between an empath and clairsentient comes down to boundaries, awareness, control, and energetic management. Regardless of your abilities, you are a magnificently powerful being. In addition, we are the messenger, not the message. Truth is not contingent upon belief. I seek to always mind my sentient business, and in another audio recording, I will expound upon my curriculum. Now, this concludes our share on the distinction between HSPs, empaths, and clairsentients. I intend this was resourceful and empowering. Infinite love and awareness to you all. I intend you are guided towards clarity out of confusion within your luminous odyssey. Until next time, sentient ones, embrace your nature. It has the roots to restore you. I am Iset, and I set the mic.